welcome to the walkthrough of my scheduling system program. This is a program built in Java using a JavaFX for the user interface, and it has a MySQL database that it runs CRUD operations on to read and write to the database and retrieve information. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and launch the application and move it over. So there it is. This is the welcome screen. It's a login screen, and a couple things to point out here is that because this is scheduling appointments with times, it does adjust for time zones. So my current time zone is being taken from the system default, which I'm in Mountain Standard Time in the United States. And it's also displaying English because that is the default system language that I have it set to right now. But it also has French that would initialize if it recognizes that French is the system language setting, and more languages could be added to that. First, I'll just try to log in without putting anything in, and we can see that the username needs to be entered. And I'll go and put in a valid username, try to click there, and of course I need a password, so we'll put in the password. Not very secure, but for demonstration purposes, that's what we have. And there's a notification here that pops up, just informational, letting me know that there are no appointments coming up, and that's within 15 minutes. If there was an appointment coming up within 15 minutes with my user associated with it, it would let me know, and then let me into the main screen. So here is the dashboard, and it's got a table view for customers and for appointments. And so we can add customers and add appointments. And I'll first walk through some of the functionality quickly just to show what this does by adding a customer. So let's just add Bob here, and he lives on 1223 Bob Street. And we'll notice that there's no state populated yet in this combo box, but there is a country. And once I pick one, say Canada, it will populate with the appropriate states or provinces of that country. And if I do US, we have US states here. So let's go ahead and say we're from Canada and Nova Scotia. And the postal code, there aren't any validation checks on the postal code or phone number here. It's just strings, so we'll put that in and save it. And here we can see our new customer. And we can update the customer by changing the address, for example, or maybe we're actually in Alberta, and check that. And note here that in this screen there's an ID that has been assigned and can't be changed. So that's the next record available in the database. And there we go. We have another Bob. This was actually from a previous test, so there's another Bob there that I added, and we can go to the database and see the customers. And if I refresh this, we'll see the two Bobs. This is actually the second take, so that's the second Bob that I've added, and we can see that they got written to the database, so that is what we want. And so that's good. We can add an appointment also, so I'll quickly run through this demonstration as well. We'll just call this APPT. In fact, I think I have one from the first take. We'll call this APPTS as a test appointment. And we'll just quickly kind of pick whatever here for the customer ID, the user, and these date pickers and times are initialized also when this screen opens. So we'll try to make an appointment for today at 2 a.m. Mountain Time and save that. And what we get here is an error saying that appointments can only be scheduled during business hours, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We work hard late into the night. So let me try to revise that. And if I say it's 7 Mountain Time to 8 Mountain Time, we should be able to make that appointment, and we did, and there's the previous one. And so we can go to the appointments here on the MySQL database, and now we see the 2 new appointments there. Okay, and we can also modify the appointments here, update. If we want to change maybe the state to Arkansas, and we'll say it goes on for an entire day. Oh, and then this is another error check. If there are overlapping times, we can't set an appointment to overlap with something that's already set. So let me just cancel that. So we have our appointment, and we can modify them. And we can also delete appointments and customers, but let's try that. Let's try to delete that customer. Actually, let's try to delete that one. Okay, customer 1. Okay, so we deleted it. And let's see, if we delete this customer, we actually get an error message that says all appointments for this customer must be deleted before the customer can be deleted. So that customer actually has appointments, so it's customer ID number 1. So you can see he's got Daddy Warbucks here has 2 appointments scheduled. So we can't delete that. But once we delete the appointments, we can go ahead and do that. And here's the display notification. Now let's try to delete that customer. Oh, looks like he's still got appointments. Oh yeah. All right, get rid of that one. And now it's just asking us if we're sure we want to do that. And now we got rid of him. Okay, so that's it for that. We can filter the appointment view by ones coming up within 7 days and 30 days. In this case, they're all coming up within 7 days or 30 days. They're actually in the past. So that will filter them. And we'll see the final screen here is the reports screen. So we can pull up reports by different filters here. We got type, month, contact, and customer. I deleted so many of the appointments. We don't have a lot left, but actually this one shows debriefing 2 appointments there, and that's the only actual type of appointment that we have now, and it counts them, so that's nice. And then I think we have one in February. Here we go. 1 shows the count there. It counts them up. And we can see if we have any in January, and there are not. And so it's 0. And let's see which contact has appointments. Here we've got Daniel Garcia's got 1, and then Lee's got 1, and this person has 0. And then we can view them by customer also. So this customer has 2 appointments, and the other ones have none. And so those all update as I click through the filters. All right, now I'll go back to the main screen, and that is the program. It was a pretty quick walkthrough. There's a lot going on in the code to make this all possible. Some lambdas used for the display, some of the display notifications, and of course the SQL statements to interact with the database is all going on as well. So I'm not going to walk through the code. I'll let you do that. This is all available in the repository. So I wanted to make this one brief. The last few have been a little long. So thank you for your kind attention, and I hope you enjoy the program. Thank you.